Yo, what up guys, how's it going? This is Enrique from Easy Things to Draw. Sorry I haven't been posting lately. I've been busy with kind of work, with art jobs, and then I've also been busy with being sick. So I didn't really want to be on camera. I couldn't talk very well because my voice was kind of raspy and stuff. So this is the first day I'm kind of pretty much getting over my sickness. So this is good news and bad news for what I'm going to talk about with this sketchbook. So I showed the sketchbook a little bit in another video, and I said I was going to continue it, but I can't really continue it. It is really getting gross. This is actually the sketchbook that I have on me at all times. When I'm like in a waiting office or something like that, I will draw in it, I'll sketch in it. If I ever have a moment, where I'm just sitting down, this is my sketchbook. Great. I think it's like a moleskin or something. It survives for a while. But I have to retire it, and there's a lot of unfinished stuff in it. If I do finish it, though, later on, I'm going to post it on my Instagram, so just keep watching my Instagram. But for the most part, I have to retire it. It's really starting to bust at the seams. It's getting really gross. A lot of pages are falling out. I just can't have it on me anymore. And like I said, so anyways, let's go through it. So you can tell, like, this stuff's like, me just sitting on it. Samurai sketch in the beginning. We're going to go through it page by page. Here's a little goofy drawing my friend Sally did. She was just starting to kind of doodle. She doodled some creepy manatee. And this is my samurai sketch. I was just thinking of samurais because I did a how to draw samurai video on the Enzyme Art channel. That will be on here pretty soon. I'm going to start moving all those videos over. But like I said, I've been behind on certain things. Anyways, just take a look at that. I did the whole rising sun kind of thing. I did this also with the ballpoint pen that I really like. I forget what you call it. The one I always use. I forget what is that? The zebra. F402. But so yeah, this is coming out. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Let me focus. And then here's kind of an older one. This is actually one of the first ones I drew in this, sketchbook. This is kind of like a monkey on this guy's back. I was just thinking of I think what occurred to me was I just saw Lost in Space. That old, really, it's the remake of Lost in Space, the old TV show, but it's the movie, but with Matt LeBlanc, I think in 1997. Really bad movie when you look back at it, really bad. But I liked it at the time, and I saw it lately, and it was enjoyable, I guess. It was alright, it was pretty bad, but they had a little monster that kind of reminded me of like a lemur or something like that, so I just kind of thought of that. And I thought of maybe some guy on a futuristic planet. I did this with microns, these, I have them in front of me just to show you. Hopefully it doesn't lose focus. Yeah. These kind of things right here. Microns. Great pen. I want to throw some variety in it. This is some guy it's weird because I drew him in ballpoint pen, like regular ballpoint pen, long time ago. And I didn't like it, so I went over it in a micron. Just kind of added more stuff to it. I still don't like it. It looks like like an iron on top of his head. I'm not fond of the design. I drew it alright, but there's too much busyness going on. I'm critiquing myself too. See, there's too much busyness. There is this should be complexity and places to rest your eye. If I went back to do this, I would make this maybe one larger chunk, or make that all connect, because this looks like a negative space right here. And this is I would kind of just try to pull that together more, make it sweep more. It doesn't really have an attractive silhouette. If I was to picture this as a silhouette, it doesn't really have an attractive silhouette, and that's a big thing. Anywho, I'm just critiquing my own drawing, but whatever. That's a fun sketch, really quick. This is my sketch of my friend Lyndon. You guys have seen him. This is not a good likeness of him at all. I kind of made him unflattering on purpose. It was kind of out of my head. It was like a drawing out of my head of him. That's not his nose and stuff like that. But he wears a lot of facial accessories. That's with a ballpoint pen. The facial accessories, he wears everything. He wears a hat. He's probably looking at this right now. I know he's looking at this video. He wears a hat. He's got kind of scraggly beard sometimes, back and forth. He, You know, his glasses. He's got so much facial accessories, and he's got like he was wearing like a kind of a open shirt over his regular shirt. That was with the, like I said, ballpoint pen. This is just kind of a random. I don't know why it came to me. I was drawing animals. I was thinking of cartoon animals, so I drew this with a another micron. I believe a brush micron, where they used a brush with it. You know, I thought the brush. You know, I'm starting to actually just get into brush pen now. I'm just started, and hopefully I'll go over some videos of that. I'm really starting to get into it. You know, a la Peter Hahn style. If you ever saw Peter Hahn, look him up. He does the brush pen like, oh my god, better than almost anybody I've seen in terms of just sketching. You know, that kind of thing, and like the quantity of stuff. But anyways, this is again with a brush, micron brush. It's a little different. That's a wolf one. Some of these have been on my Instagram. If you've seen my Instagram. This wolf one here has been on there. It's pretty popular on there. And it was a ballpoint pen sketch. I put a little bit more shading into it. I was trying to think of this area to concentrate on the face. It's a little more rendered too. I wanted to like render it out a little bit more. Just kind of felt like it at the time. Again, this is trying to make this seem like his arm or shoulder or something. I'm not really quite sure. Trying maybe more of his arm. Well, it would have to be more of his shoulder actually. And what I did right here is I threw this. See, I threw like a little. I don't know. I'm just pointing this, by the way. It's not. I didn't do it with this, but I see with a ballpoint pen. I threw a lot of value over it. See how all these little lines are there? It's not just for sake, right? There's nothing up here. See how there's nothing up there, but there is something down here. And the reason is I want the viewer to immediately look here in this area. You know what I mean? The kind of contrast area. And then, like, secondary, it'll look at this. Because if I left this totally white, the eye wouldn't really know where to go, and I want it to go right here. If that makes sense. It's like a noise going on here. This is just some goofy robots I did with Micron. Put a little note there. Art Show Gold. I don't know what that is. This is just some goofy sketches to mess around with. That is such a whack design. That's hilarious. I might go to that and make like a real character out of that. It's funny, like the little spider legs. This is a friend. Friend did that drawing. My friend Lyndon did that in there. I always want something. I don't know why. When I'm in, he's really good at drawing like that, the animal kind of thing, like cartoonish animals. He's really good at that. But I always like having drawings from friends. I don't know if you guys are like that. If you guys like that, let me know, please, like in the comments. But if I have a sketchbook, 95% of it is my stuff, and I always want maybe one or two, even for friends that don't like draw as a career or anything like that. I just kind of want one or two in there. I don't know why. I just like it. It's like I have a piece of them, kind of. You know what I mean? Because I save these. Excuse me. I am so sorry about the cough. This is another one I put on my Instagram. It's pretty big on the Instagram. Kind of a squid with maybe like... I think what was going through my head was there's maybe a squid with like that captures souls somehow. You know what I mean? Even though it's goofy because it's underwater, I guess maybe it'll have to be like an underwater kind of villain. And he would capture your souls and keep them, you know, kind of as a, you know, every soul would be like stuck in its kind of head area. You know, kind of take a symbol of that. And I was trying to make like when we're talking about contrast, I put this dark back here to make this pop forward. Like, I mean, I darken it like crazy to push that forward. And I think without that, it wouldn't be nearly as punchy. You know what I mean? Because that's also something I've been messing around with. I'm trying to like work on the composition in the way that, I mean, where I place my darks. I still haven't made a composition video. The reason for that is I don't know if I know well enough to teach it, but I do know a decent amount, like I said. But I would like to learn a little more before I put a video out of it. Anyways, yeah, that's why I put the dark. I think the dark really makes it, in my opinion. I like it a lot. And you kind of have to go for it, you know, because you don't really know what it's going to look like till you do it. So there's kind of this fear, you know, even though this is like a ballpoint pen, it's, you know, you can kind of shade it in there. It's still scary, you know, it's still a pen, you know. This is a quick one I did of Batman and a Micron. I didn't really finish this one. I wanted to maybe make the whole sky black as well. What I had going through my head, I think his arm's a little bit too big right here. What I had going through my mind was that maybe who's the guy that makes him see illusions? I know there's two guys that make him see illusions. I know there's there's a scarecrow, right? But that's more fear-based stuff. And then there's also I was thinking, I remember what it was, like the Mad Hatter. He makes him see stuff that he wants, that kind of thing, or makes him dream. In reality, he might be like walking off a building. I don't know why he'd want a cupcake with wings on it, but that was kind of just a goofy idea, and I thought it was funny. But yeah, I was literally watching an episode of the animated Bruce Timm series when I was actually doodling that. This one's a little weird. This one I could finish more. I could definitely work on more. It is and I hope it makes sense on camera there. It's a little jumbled up, right? See, I would have to throw more darks into this. If I might actually do that. I might throw some more darks and then post it on Instagram one day in the future, just to give you a heads up. If you don't know my Instagram, I wrote it in the description, or I'll put it on the screen. It's sketch_monster and then the number 1. Oh my god, excuse me, guys. I'm still a little sick. So, in this one I was drawing originally mountains or something like that, just like rocks, kind of on a pier, on a beach or something. And I just thought it was too boring, so I threw this like unicorn thing in there, and I threw this whale. Essentially, my mind was kind of losing it right here. I was just kind of losing my mind. I'm so sorry, guys. I really apologize in advance for the next few coughs as well. So, this one I was thinking of kind of a lackey, not so much a warlord. To me, he doesn't feel like a leader. You know what I mean? He could be the main bad guy, but I don't know. I just saw him as like the second big boss to the bad guy, or one of the hundreds of, lackeys that a boss would have, like a warlord. I think after this, I saw Mad Max. I was thinking, but this isn't very Mad Maxy, but this is more like Mortal Kombat-ish with these style of spikes, kind of very 80s, and it's also this kind of robot tech in the legs. Kind of plates stuck to this dude. But I was actually playing around with his darks, and you're going to see a lot more of that in the next one of these little ones. These little sketchbooks are great. But I used a micron for this as well. And you can see, like I said, the page is getting dirty. That's another reason I wanted to show the sketchbook now, because as time goes on, these pages get dirty and dirtier as they rub together, right? As you close them, they're going to rub together, so. These are just doodles in ballpoint pen. I despise this one right here. I just think it's really badly designed, in my opinion. I kind of dig this. All right. This is a stuffed animal I had as a kid defending himself from a power blast. This is a goofy, kind of my goofy humor kind of thing. Let me see. Yeah, that's down, but this page is falling out. So, it's essentially a guy looking at a robot way bigger than him, and he's like, let's start fighting, which is a joke, right, because this thing's huge. The tech is very, I think, reminiscent of, like, 80s stuff. This is a brush pen back here it was definitely a Micron brush pen. Not the Micron brush pen, sorry, the Pigma brush pen. I think Pigma's a company, Micron's just a type. And I was just toying with that. Yeah, that was cool. This is like the stuff that comes right out of my head, where I'm like, I can draw this like in my sleep, kind of thing. You always have this kind of sense of design. You kind of have, again, your library of information. You tend to call back on a lot of similar design elements. I noticed for me personally, I kind of do stuff with the plates in the chest area. I don't know how to say it. Like, there's this like swooping thing I do a lot, which I'm trying to change, and I'm trying to like incorporate or make it better. This is a pretty quick sketch of a tiger at the zoo originally, and I decided to try to make the stripes in the back like a face. I don't consider this 100% finished, really, and like I said, if I do finish any of these, I swear I'll post them on Instagram as I do. But I just thought I threw the face in the back because the designs look cool, and I was trying to figure out what to make the stripes on his back, because I knew I didn't want a regular picture of a tiger, so I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted, But anyway, that's kind of the idea. This is another goofy sketch. I don't consider it finished. So let me tell you the story with this thing, okay? I was drawing a ballpoint pen, and this is before I had an animal. Like, this sketchbook's old, guys. I don't know exactly how old this sketchbook is. I've had this in my pocket for maybe more than a year, or a year, even. And I started drawing this bird, like around here, top of the head. And then I just started drawing it, and I just left it, right? And since that time, I think a few months later, I took a how to draw animals class. And right after that class, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. Like before this, like just some of the things up here. So I tried to fix it, some of the proportions up here, and I drew the body better. I tried to make it a little bit more like a real bird, like more of a chicken, giant hawk kind of thing. And I wanted a scenario. That's another thing I'm trying to do in my sketches is put that little extra oomph into it by having it in a scenario. You don't want just like a bird standing there. You could do that, right? It looks great. There's amazing ones. But I figure the ones that really kind of like I like more, me personally, are ones that are very like there's something going on. There's something more story wise. They're almost like little tiny story. Nothing crazy, but just like a little line of text like story. So I put like this goofy pig here. And I put That'll Do Pig, like the movie Babe, and I don't know why I did that. I just thought it was like really amusing. It just amused me. Like I just was amused by that. I don't consider this done, but it's you can tell what's going on. It's not enough. This one, just kind of a half face on one side, half on the other. I was gonna start building there. Didn't really have time. I don't think I had a lot of interest in this sketch. I don't know why. More of a dead side, live side. Again, just keep reminding you because I feel like I definitely know my friends who watch this are going to be like, finish this stuff. If I finish it, I will put it on Instagram, like I said, but I'm just not going to carry this stuff around. This is just a sketch. Kind of a monster, maybe. The idea I was having in my mind was maybe there was a glacier, some sort of glacier, possibly island. I was thinking more glacier, and it's literally just like the back of a monster, almost more like a goofy way. He's got like a belt. Who would make a belt that size? And there's a boat down here for scale. It's kind of dragony. It's kind of loose ideas right here. I think I was watching Transformers. Even though this has nothing to do with Transformers, I feel like it would be like a similar universe to Transformers, where there's like goofiness, where you're like, why does that robot have a beard? Stuff like that. Let me move on. Nothing. That is a sketch. Nothing. This one is already on Instagram. This one I was really toying with the making everything black in the background kind of thing. It is just a typical monster, kind of dragony design. Very, very. I think the design's very much in my Rolodex. I didn't push myself too hard to do the design. What I did was the back here. I used the brush pen as well with the Pigma I talked about, the Micron one, and you take some risk because you're kind of killing your brush pen in a way because you're using a lot of ink, but I do think it's worth it. I think it gives a very strong image at the end. It really makes it pop out. People, when they look through my sketchbook, they notice this page a lot. So I think I think it worked out. It's a bargain. Bargain. It's a risk. You risk wasting all that ink and being like, I don't like it. But so that's why you gotta calculate that risk. But yeah, people like this one. I believe I was watching something like Jurassic Park or Tremors. I think I was watching Tremors, actually. You remember that movie Tremors? That's actually what these things look like. Tremors is the movie, I think it's with Kevin Bacon in 1985 or something. I forget when they made that movie. And it's about sandworms that go underground. And the outside of when the sandworms come out, what comes out of their mouth are these looking things. These look exactly like that. And, yeah, really good. They made like 3 sequels or something. I haven't seen the other sequels. This is nothing. This is a robot. I was going to do cityscape in the background. Like I said, if I do that, I will put it in there. Just a robot design. I was kind of messing around with joints. One of the things you're going to run into in terms of difficulty would be when you're doing robot designs and you're thinking like you're really thinking in 3D, because that's almost my catchphrase now, think in 3D. When you think in 3D, the robotic stuff is a lot harder than the organic, because you got to go, like let's say this arm right here. You're going down, back, and then kind of angled forward to this. This might be a joint. down forward, like on a slide, and then coming out at you forward, right? So there's a lot going on that you think about, at least for me, I think about independently as I'm putting them in there. Like ding, 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 ding. And you can't get lazy about it, too. You have to kind of work it out so it's at least understandable to the viewer. Same thing with this arm back here, but this was a lot easier, in my opinion. But this stuff is like, it can be super fun, or it can be a massive pain. It's kind of up to you. If you enjoy this stuff, it's one of the most awesome things you can do. Like, just very pleasurable like experience. You just like it. You get this feeling of accomplishment afterward, and then it just starts to become routine, and then you just start to, everything starts to be good. What else about this? That's about it. I don't think the design was based on anything. I think I was definitely watching Transformers at this point. These are just some random sketches with ballpoint pen. I was just working on joints. Not even joints, just kind of like odd parts to stuff. So I have to kind of like hold this down. Excuse me. Drink some tea. Yeah, just some random joints there. So this is actually what I mentioned in the other video. I was going to do something, I never did. But like I said, this one I actually fully intend on finishing eventually. I'll post it, guys. Check it out. It's based on a real tank. I forget what kind of tank, to be honest. These are some mechs. Just kind of goofing around with mechs with a pen, with a ballpoint pen. It's weird. Sorry for the contrast, guys, because I know these are not as easy to see compared to these, with the Micron. But I wanted some variety in this, so that's why I've been using more than one type of pen lately. It's basically a robot, with a scorpion thing. This one I was just like not feeling the overall design, so that's why I kind of stopped it and I just did this guy. And it's, again, these are just messing around. It's nothing big. This is a rhino. I believe I posted this. This is a rhino at the zoo, I believe. Well, I don't know. I think they got rid of the one at the zoo over here. It died or something. But I remember there was a rhino here at the zoo. I started it. Gonna give it his own little page. It's chilling out. Micron as well. Make it a little punchier. This is a ballpoint pen of a dude kind of turning away, about to get eaten by a giant snake or something like that. Alien, humanoid. Has like a handlebar. Almost you can grab him back here on his suit. The way it's designed. But yeah, ballpoint pen on this one. The truth is, you can take any of these. That's the thing. That's the thing about sketchbooks. Once you have like a bunch of sketches, you can take any of them and like put them into Photoshop and color them, or what do you call that? Project them onto a painting canvas, or grid them out and grid them on a painting canvas, and then you can paint them. You have to redraw them on the canvas, but these can be ideas, or they can be total finished products if you want them to. You have a lot to choose from. I know once you commit to a product, it's once you commit to a single image that's finished, right? It's going to take a little bit, but it's worth it. More goofing around. Just gonna goof around with ballpoint right here, maybe like an egg dropper, something of that sort. A little bit more doodling. Ballpoint pen. Couple of suits. A girl without a suit. Again, just toying with shapes. Didn't really finish that. It's just kind of, again, fooling. I guess the theme of this is like most of the fooling around comes with the ballpoint pen, because I'm more relaxed with that. This stuff is more like structural. Like this is a skeleton from the La Brea tar pits. I didn't get to finish that, but there's, I was just studying the skeleton to try to know it. I think it was a bison. They have amazing skeletons. Is which the first thing I noticed about the bison. It looks like something out of like, I don't know what, like sci-fi. Look at animal skeletons. They're amazing, just amazing. And if you haven't, and I've talked about this in other videos, if you haven't learned about animals, do it. It will like completely change your life. Like it really will. Just learning about, oh, these are very, like the bone structures are very similar to other animals, or they're very clearly related to other animals, or like they're very clearly related to us somehow. Certain, you know what I mean? There's just like, just amazing. Just go into that, like check that out. Watch the documentaries on Netflix. There's so many cool behavioral things about them. They're clearly all related. I mean, not all, but some are closer than others, obviously. But yeah, you'll see a lot of the same repetitive kind of bones in different stuff. So it's quite one of the coolest things I've ever done is learn more about animals. So I can't speak good about that enough. Here's a spaceship thing. I'm actually digging this design. I like it. Don't like the design of that guy walking out. He was like coming out of a jail. Kind of half-assed him, but he's good. He's going good. This is a robot design I did in Micron. I believe this is on my this is on my Instagram, and yeah, I kind of did this on the fly a little bit. I wanted to try to kind of do something a little bit more complicated with the gears. Not so much the main parts, right? I wanted the gears, the stuff within that you can kind of see through. Like here, I wanted to work on that specifically, and I can't really work on that without like I said, the parts of relaxation. There's tension, and there's relaxation, right? Tension, let me point it with this. Tension, and then relaxation. This is more relaxation right here, bigger, your eye has to rest. But people seem to really like this robot, and I was like, really flattered with people, what they had to say. So I was it's cool. Cool stuff. Nothing, just kind of doodling outside. This is another one that was on my Instagram that did pretty well. So the story with this one is originally I drew a bunch of swirls, and I didn't know why. I was just kind of just swirling, and then I'm like, man, now I have these swirls in pen, like, so sorry guys. So I kind of turned it into this kind of Quetzalcoatl kind of thing. I was inspired kind of like by some of the Aztec stuff, some of the things on their shields and things like that. I think I mentioned in the other video that I did that. I also kind of put that dark thing. I went for that dark, really, really dark to kind of bring this out a little bit. Yeah, I really dig this one. I really like it. It's a really fun sketch. Nothing. Totally unfinished sketch. I was going to do like a snail with a house in it. This is one of the skulls I have, actually. I just did it from life for kind of, whoops, so easy. Is it focused still? Yeah. This thing, it's a skunk skull. I kind of drew it. I got it for reference, and then I just drew it, as practice. And I think, is that almost it? Some kabuki thing right there. Just started up. This is also on my Instagram. It's just, this was an excuse to practice animal bodies. I've kind of like walking on all fours, so I kind of drew this, and I was thinking of a crocodile and somewhat of an elf. So I just kind of drew that just to kind of practice my animal stuff. That one is already on my Instagram. And that is it, actually, guys. That's pretty much it. It's junk notes. So that was my little sketchbook. You guys checked it out already. I showed you the whole thing. If I finish any of like these, if I or take them to a further level or something, I promise I will post them on my Instagram. Check out my Instagram. It is sketch_monster and the number 1. I wrote it on the screen. I appreciate it, guys. If you like this video, press the thumbs up button, and also share the video. That's a new thing. I don't think I've asked a lot of people to do that, but share it anywhere. Share it on Facebook. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next time, and I promise I'll be better. like better health. See ya.